All right. Welcome to another episode of Harbor City Local TV in association with Space Coast Podcast. This is the Punk in the Park follow-up edition, hanging out with Rob and Tony from 518 Underground Skate Shop. What's up, guys?
What's happening?
How you doing?
You guys also know Rob from Traditionals, Brews, and Brews, Shaves, and whatever.
Shaves and Brews.
Shaves and, with his wife Becca, and then Tony over at Standard Collective with his girl Elena. So yeah, Punk in the Park, first year done.
Quite a success.
How do you guys feel?
I'm stoked still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still in awe about it.
Yeah, riding the high. Yeah, definitely. It was a big day. It was a long day. It was the only real stress of the day, I guess, was the weather. You know, were you guys glued to the radar like I was all day long?
Yeah, I was looking up all day.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Every time someone came up to me talking about the weather, I said, we don't talk about it.
That's right.
Yeah, we don't talk about it. But it was amazing to see it was just black, and it just kept parting right around us.
Yeah.
I think we had an hour of rain a bit, soft rain, and other than that, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No hiccups. Yeah,
No hiccups, yeah. And you guys have any highlights you want to chat about first?
I just all the bands were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
First off, vendors killed it. Sponsors, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
like-
Skateboarding
It
was good. The skateboarding never stopped.
Yeah.
Everyone from the minute the ramp was set up.
When the rain came, I was like, "Oh man, skating's done." And then as soon as the rain stopped, they're out there with blowers, drying off
it's dry and fly with those guys.
Yeah,
They
no,
don't
it was
mess
great.
around,
Yeah, they were prepared with the squeegees, the mops.
Yeah,
Like there was no taking
Yeah.
that ramp away.
yeah. And again, that's the Goat Ramp guys. We appreciate Goat Ramp coming out, having fun with us. You brought up the bands. We definitely appreciate the bands coming out. We hope they had a good time. This was a community charity event, so the bands came out and played for food and beer, and we appreciate them coming out and doing it. A lot of them came from Orlando and the surrounding areas. And Rob, you know those bands, probably more than any of us. Some of those guys were legends in a different way, right? Skaters and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of those guys have been in bands for years too.
Mhm.
Plus, skateboarding, surfing scene. I mean,
Yeah,
there's so many to name, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah, a lot of those guys go way back in the scene and everything.
Yeah, the Face First guys, right? They just put out a new
That's
video too.
Rick Agro and Tim Payne
Mhm.
from Team Payne, the owner. That was one of their third show possibly.
You wouldn't know it,
which is
Yeah,
pretty
they're-
awesome. Yeah. And they guys from Andrew WK are also in that band.
Yeah,
Nice.
so some
yeah.
clout. Yeah.
Yeah. Rick's a pretty famous tattoo artist out of Orlando area.
Mm-hmm.
Does a lot of the Flog and Molly cruises and stuff like that. And everybody knows Team Payne.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Who else came out? I know we had a lot of skating sponsors. Who else was kind of a part of the event that I see you got Keeping Vert Dead on your hat?
So we had some. We had Juice Magazine, Dan, which sponsored it from California. We had, Common Youth from California. It's AJ Nelson and his crew, some Powell guys. Keeping Vert Dead, which is a local Florida company. All I Need Skateboards from Pawtucket, Rhode Island, which our rider Timmy Knut skates for them pro.
Awesome.
And Speed Lab, which is a great company from Arizona. They also hooked everything up.
So around the country.
Yeah.
Punk in the Park is international or national, I guess.
It'll be
Yeah.
international.
Yeah, nice. We'll be international next year.
That's right. Mike Rogers showed up from Grind for Life.
Yes.
Got to chat with him for a minute.
Yep. Rodney Mead,
Yeah.
another big embassy
Right.
guy, and
Yeah.
I feel like there was a lot of old heads there.
Yeah.
What's that one cat? The 6-year-old skater who was ripping. He's been around forever.
oh, that
Mark Lake? Did he skate?
No, Mark. I didn't see Mark there.
I can't remember.
Was it Murphy? Something. Anyway, but there was like a 65-year-old skater.
Yeah.
Just
Cholo was
dogged
out
it.
there. He's
Yeah.
the original
That was-
Z-boy from Hawaii. So
I think that 65-year-old skater was Rob Polak, actually.
Nice.
yeah,
I think,
yeah,
That's funny.
that's great.
But there was young kids, and then we had the roller girls.
Again, Rob Polak.
Yeah. What's their group called again?
SIB, the
Yeah.
CIB.
Chicks and Bowls.
Chicks and Bowls.
Yeah. And they did a little competition first before the guys got out there. So there was 3 winners, right?
Yeah, there was that Eva was first place. Piper won second place, and Ash and Jess tied at third.
Right.
Nice.
And then obviously Jill Koza and Snap Happy did a killer job judging that whole thing. It was awesome.
Yeah, they were great. Snap was also a sponsor with her Savvy Vinyl Records. Definitely check them out. But that was a great way to kind of start the day, you know. And Koza out there, both of them actually, they're
Team Koza.
because her son was out there ripping it up too.
Yeah, Jack. Yeah, he's rides for 518 also.
Yeah, Jack the Ripper.
Yep, Jack.
Nice. But it was a great way to start. They were kind of forced their way in. They're like, no, we want to do this. We're going to do this. Yeah, and it was, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, that particular area was pretty much a highlight of the entire day with the girls and the guys. It was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, there was some female skateboarders out there too, but it was once the skateboarding took over, it was male heavy. But and then setting up right in front of that skate ramp, there was 518. That was us, Convicted Printing, Lake Skateboards, Pineapple's another sponsor. It was a great spot to just be all day. Music in the band shell, skate ramp and goat ramp out there all day.
It did help. Food trucks were adjacent to the ramp.
Yep.
And the beer tent.
Yeah.
It's a beer tent, ramp, food trucks. It was like everything you need right there.
Yeah, and you can tell by the excitement in our voices we are still a little up from this event. So we had the skating. Was there who was controlling the skateboard competitions?
So Corey Cowherd and JR were the 2 main guys running that whole show, which props to you guys. You killed it on that one.
Yeah, how did that work? What was the prizes and stuff?
So we did bangers for bucks. We had a $500 purse, which they divvy out their money differently on the tricks, and then we had a ton of skateboards, shirts, hats, stickers, all kinds of stuff that these companies gave us to just hand out to these guys.
Nice.
So everybody at least went home with food, gas money, stuff like that. Kind of helps out.
Right.
Skaters are stoked on that. You know. You know.
Yeah. Gas money these days. Yeah.
And just having a crowd to skate in front of.
Yeah.
You know, as skaters, you know, I mean, you bust a check, you look around, who saw that?
Right,
I need a witness.
Yeah. The entire day at that. It's just.
Yeah. A lot of thank yous all day. People were definitely stoked for this. They were waiting for it, and
for sure.
And like you said, there was a lot of older people out. The older punks came out. That sometimes we have these shows at night. We do a lot of local music, and it can be hit and miss with the show, but it's because it's at 11 o'clock at night. It's at midnight, and these guys, they're just not coming out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you got to see exactly what type of music and punk community that we have here in Brevard, and the surrounding areas. We had a lot of people come in from out of town. But
and remember, it was very family friendly. No liquor, just one beer tent. The ramp for the kids, so you had like multiple generations able to hang out and enjoy common ground. So I mean, just for families, amazing.
Yeah. And you go to some of the local shows, and especially some of the shows at Rubik's, these people are bringing out their kids to the show, and I think Brevard needs a little more of an all ages situation, because it is passing the torch a bit and creating the community. So yeah, the skating was a big highlight. And what else? Tony?
Oh, well.
Yeah, get some words in there, Tone. Let's go.
All the bands were great. I don't know. I was stuck in the store most of the day.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Which was fantastic. The store was, because of the event, it brought a lot of people down and supported all the business in the area, which obviously is a major part of why we do these things, is to really bring attention to what we do and support all the businesses.
No, definitely. And that's why, we try to, other than EGAD be in the art district and having a band shell, it is that type of business district too, that supports what we want to do, and in turn brings people to what you're doing. Now, Tony again is the art director of Punk in the Park. He did a lot of our shirts, designs, all the koozies that you bought. All of that was developed by Tony at Standard.
The sick banners we had up on the stage.
Yeah, the
Those
banners,
are cool.
the hats.
They came out great.
You know, everything was designed by Tony over at Standard Collective. And so they're not just a printer. If you need design or leather work, you can always stop into Standard and chat with Tony about that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, the designs were interesting, and since we're bringing that up, where did you get those ideas?
Actually, through conversation with Rob, we kind of collaborated on that, and we want something that represented punk rock.
Mm-hmm.
Something offensive, but not too offensive.
Right. Yeah.
Fine line.
Yeah. Just with what's going on in the world and stuff too, and all the crazy chaos, I think the designs kind of represent what's happening, and
the nukes,
the nukes and stuff. Yeah.
Well, and being on the the nonprofit side of this event, and doing a lot of the logistics, you got to kind of double take at it. And when you sent me the art for the billboard, and I sent that over to Carol Distributing, thank you, Carol, for the billboard. Yep. And then I thought about it. I was like, man, I just sent them, there's going to be this artwork up on billboards.
Right. Giant. It was subtle, though, It
was subtle. It was fun, if you can call it fun. And if you don't know what we're talking about, there's still some merch left. Not much, but next time we have a Harbor City event, come and buy it up. You still got some Punk in the Park merch over at Standard?
Well, we can always print it on demand.
Yeah, print it on demand.
Yeah.
And then we were able to, Convicted Printing was another sponsor. They're out of Tampa. And Tony did the artwork, but they donated 100 shirts to us for the day. And to bring up Convicted Printing, that was another thing that happened during the day. And it was subtle. I don't know if anyone really, focused on it too much. But a lot of these people that sponsored are nonprofits in their own right and have agendas in their own right, one being Convicted Printing, that the proceeds of what they do goes to battle human trafficking. We had the Brevard Prevention Coalition, another sponsor, come out, and they are dedicated towards communicating and battling substance abuse. To Write Love on Our Arms came out, battling mental health and suicide prevention. And so it was a grand community day in a lot of different ways. And it's hard to focus on those things, but they were there, they made their presence known, and I think it's just nice to have that level of interest in what we're doing from all sides. So yeah, we got bombs on billboards, but we
they love bombs.
Yeah, they love bombs.
Well, back to what you're saying too, it's a testament to the punk rock scene to have brands or the printers with a mission and donating money to really great causes.
Right.
And I think the punk rock scene's a testament to they're good human beings.
Yeah.
Just because it's loud music doesn't mean they don't have a positive message.
Well, and all music kind of has its gamut of goes from knuckleheads to positive situations. I remember being young watching an interview with Ice Cube, and they were talking to him about gangster rap, and and he's like, you can't blame me for these horrible people doing this.
Speaking on it. Right?
Yeah, and just because they're not great you can't bring down a whole genre.
Right.
And punk rock has that. I know a lot of what I do, being in the nonprofit and educator and stuff, a lot of that came from punk rock ideals. When I think about those things, I can't discount what I have grown from punk rock.
Right, for sure. Yeah.
Well, excellent. So we talked about bands a bit. Maybe let's pull up a band. Let's do a video for one of the highlights of the day was a band out of Orlando called Vicious Dreams. Check them out. They have some new video out, some new music coming out. we got pics of them. Lunar Lux Photography was one of the photographers on the day, and you could check out their Instagram and Facebook for a lot of pics. They really liked Vicious Dreams, so there's a lot of pics of them. But we're going to do Vicious Dreams bumper cars. We're going to pull up a video right now.
What's that?
Okay. Yeah.
They have that old sound.
Yeah. I need some woes there. Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be good, man. Yeah. But they also keep the woes came like later on, and so that it's kind of nice. They keep it that old style too. But that would work out good in that song.
What's her name, Amanda?
I think so. Feel good voice. That's a good voice.
All right.
That was a fun video.
That was a fun video. Vicious Dreams out of Orlando. They're up for, if you check out in Orlando, they're doing like best of right now if you're into those types of things, and I think they're on the list. They are on the list for best punk band in Orlando, so you can go vote for them. But Amanda, the singer, also runs Chain Killer. She was one of the vendors of the day, so you can check out their Instagram for the chain jewelry that they do. But yeah, they're fun. They're definitely got that old school feel.
Yeah, we had some good classically influenced punk out there. I think not a whole lot of emo, just a lot of good just drums and power chords and just good vocals.
Yeah, no.
What do you want to say, Rob?
Yeah, we just kept some of the emo stuff out.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, between the Speed Spirits earlier and now Vicious Dreams, it definitely has that old school feel. And that's, what was interesting about the list that Rob put together is that it didn't just have one, it wasn't just one genre of punk all day. And I don't think people understand how diverse punk can actually get. And it's even more diverse than what was shown in those 13 bands. Was that like a conscious decision?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to keep it kind of like the skate style bands while skating was going on.
Right.
And then, but we kind of mixed it. Mm-hmm. We had some bands were harder than others.
Right.
430.
Yeah, 430
we put them
steps.
in a kind of a weird position.
Yeah.
And then I forgot who was after them. We did
Casket Culture.
Yeah, Casket Culture, which is a totally opposite of 430
that horror
steps.
punk.
So I think the mix was. I think it worked out perfect.
It worked out great.
Yeah.
And I appreciate those out there that wanted to destroy each other during 430 for keeping it sweet mostly during the day, because they definitely bring it, and they want you to have fun out there, and fun to them is the same thing as it's fun to us, but appreciate you keeping it good. So then that brought us, later on, because we had such a great day and everyone appreciated each other and had fun. We were able to get to TSOL, and if you missed TSOL, I saw him at Debauchery a few years back, and that was great. It was fun. But this was amazing. Yeah. This, shout out to the Res Pro guys for the sound.
Yeah.
Because what came out was legit. I don't know how else to put it. It was. What did you feel, or how did TSOL feel about what happened?
I was definitely stoked. I mean, definitely to be a part of that whole thing. And I've seen those guys in the early '80s and Debauchery, but this was by far like one of the best times I've ever seen them. They were stoked. They were completely happy with everything. The whole entire gig was 100% for those guys.
Yeah. And it legitimized what we did here a bit, bringing them in. When Rob said we had TSOL, like my head was like, okay, great. How do we make this work for them? How do we make this work for us? There's when you bring that in like that to a free event, it's a level of making sure everyone stays happy. And thank you to the community out there. It really worked out. And I'm glad that they were happy. We also had some other celebrities in the crowd for TSOL. We had, what's their names from?
Tony Forrester from Municipal Waste, local guy hangs out, and Frank Novak from Hatebreed came out and hung out with us a little bit.
Yeah. Frank does have a spot out at Renegers out there where he sells some records and stuff. So, that's... understand that this is the community that you live in. These people live here. So this isn't really while it might be new to the city, it might be new to a lot of what's going on there. This has lived here for a really long time. And we were glad that we got to put it out there and promote it in the way that we see it. I know there's a lot of stigma that comes to the idea of punk, because it took us a while to find insurance for this. But
don't let the word scare you.
Yeah.
Right.
But it couldn't have been a better day. It was so fun. Now we do have the singer of TSOL, what's his name again?
Jack Grisham.
Jack Grisham. He took some video of our crowd. We got a couple little just snippets here of what happened during TSOL. We're going to share those with you.
Yeah, let me get on full screen here. All right, check this out.
So this was the crowd during TSOL from TSOL's standpoint.
Stage view.
Yep. And it looks like such a little...
you sure Tony's not standing on stage right now? Okay.
Oh.
So this is why they were stoked.
Yeah, look at that. What a fun crowd.
And then we got a little video of when they were playing here.
This is what makes it for me, too. Everybody's faces right now. Everyone's having a great time. Just a great community event.
And then we have another one. Let's go ahead and blow this one up. See if I can't get full screen. That's about as much as it's going to allow us.
Thanks for the video, Squirrel.
Oh, that's Steve's. And I thought there was a no moshing policy.
Oh, there was a no moshing policy.
Oops.
You will never hear me say that there wasn't. Right. Out of my, there was a no moshing policy.
I mean, that looks more like slam dancing to me, not
yeah,
moshing.
Right.
Anyway,
I mean,
exactly. Kind of legit,
I don't see anyone hitting each other. So
no, just some circle dancing.
Yeah, some circle dancing.
The old loopholes in here.
Yeah.
Oh, how fun!
What a great time, man.
It was a great day.
A lot of video evidence, a lot of social media posts. So thanks everybody for
nothing
posting.
but positive too. It's just
stuff.
And there's a lot of business people there. Steve from Cocoa Buzz was there. He provided the free internet with us during the day. The Space Swap ladies were there. They run another nonprofit. Heather Everett was a sponsor. Who's her husband?
Richard Everett. Both. Yeah.
And what does he do again?
He is he's an engineer.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you talk about a diverse setting with a lot of, people that actually are making strong differences in the area. It was really great to see.
Yeah, we had, I think there was just a lot of people who fumbled along who were like just in the area who ended up coming in. I saw a lot of faces that were very surprised. They didn't know what was going on. As someone who was kind of doing the rounds, and I was also helping with security, and people were just like, hey, what is this? What's going on? And there was lots of education, and they all like stayed and hung out. So it was like a nice welcome surprise for the neighborhood as well.
It was. We had about an hour of light rain, and there was a part of me that thought, oh man, this is it. And the crowd thinned just a tad. And then once it dried up, like I thought people left, but I found out that they all just went and enjoyed EGAD for an hour.
Yeah.
So they were spending money.
And then all of a sudden, they all just flooded back and brought the party back, and just in time for 60-foot giant.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
you planned it. You had it all planned.
Luckily, the area is supported by a lot of not only the sponsors but also the neighboring businesses. So people were able to go to Kava Bar or go to Pineapples and seek refuge there. So for a indoor-outdoor kind of event, I mean, I think it could even expand a little bit if it wanted to. I mean, because this is a very organic thing that just happened.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Luckily, it was structured well. Rob, put together a great lineup and coordinated with TSOL and the whole skate situation. I mean, it was just, I don't even know what to say, really. It was great. But you're right. Some of our sponsors like the Cottage, Island Root Kava, Pineapples, Intracoastal, and then Traditionals, got to benefit not only from the rain delay, but after the event. That's why we end these events around 9 o'clock. We don't want the late night knuckleheads, and but we also want to we're in the town. We want them to go spend their money in the town, and I think the town appreciates that
For sure.
Yeah, it was a popular day for the creamery. People walking around with ice cream all day. I had some support. People brought me some ice cream because I was standing on the corner, making sure the pets were
kept
out of the
not
park.
allowed, and and other things. So no, it was hands down just a great community. I mean, everybody who wanted to be there showed up, and I think the vendors had a good time. I think the vendors who showed up and were there, they were getting a lot of traffic, a lot of inquiries as to what they do, why they do it, and so I didn't get any feedback from vendors, from anybody. Are they going to be coming back?
Yeah, I did get some emails afterwards from a few vendors, specifically a couple of the vendors that do a lot of the EGAD events already.
Right.
That they're enjoying what we're doing down there. It's not just the typical, farmers market or the typical market on a weekend. Now these are special events. We're not doing these every month, so you got to put that in perspective. But the Space Coast Music Festival and now Punk in the Park, they're really looking forward to those type of events because they do bring out people that aren't out all the time, so they have a great day because it's a lot of people that it's not just the vendor side, it's the consumer side that it's a day for them. They're out seeing things that they don't really get to see very often, so they spend their money.
Yeah, and it's that exposure, like you said.
Right. And it brings a lot of new people to the community
Right.
from all over Florida that never been to O'Galley.
Right.
It's just
and especially with those special items. So there was a lot of vendors that were like specific to that crowd,
Right.
and then there were people with like plants,
Right.
who would normally show up at the farmers market, probably see the same 50, 100 people, and now they were surrounded by thousands of people who maybe weren't tuned into what they do. So
Right.
exposure galore for everybody.
Definitely, and there were some of those specialty type punk vendors that they do events and they attend shows and stuff, and for them to be in this type of situation was definitely a time for them to push their product, to that bigger audience. Because it's the same thing with the live shows. When a band plays every weekend, you end up diluting your audience because someone can always say, well, I'll go see them next weekend. I'll go see them next weekend. It's the same thing for these types of situations. If you see something one week that you want and that vendor's going to be out next week, you might put it off.
Sure.
But with these types of situations, these are specialty situations, and the vendors definitely look forward to it.
You don't want to flood the music scene too much because then people are going to get bored and are not going to come out and support.
Right.
That's the problem with that. But
Yeah, there's a thing called over dilution, where it's just like it just becomes almost too much, and
Right.
already there's a lot of events for people to choose from. So it makes sense for you to have something, pick a date, and then let people look forward to it. There's that urgency to make sure that they get there, because there isn't one just
right
or 5 others that same weekend. It's just like, no, this is it. This is the one per year. You can't miss it. And
to bring it to the venue level, I mean, there are some good venues in the area that are fighting the fight for this type of music, Rubik's and Iron Oak and Debauchery sometimes. But it is that kind of situation where, some of the older crowd's not going to come out that late.
Right.
And then just, if there's 2 punk rock shows in this town on the same night, I mean, you're kind of fighting each other. And it's something that I think that these venues should consider a bit to, almost communicate that way too.
The other thing too goes back to the age thing we were talking about earlier. Doing 21 and up shows eliminates 50% of a punk rock show crowd.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why Rubik's does okay, because it is an all ages place.
I do all ages shows at Iron Oak. We band the kids.
Yep.
Everything works out perfectly, and it doubles my crowd.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of the old guys, like you said, they're not coming out anymore a lot to these later shows.
Yeah.
The younger kids are.
And it makes sense. I mean, when I was 12, 14, and stuff, I was at a show every freaking weekend,
right.
But my dad wasn't.
Right.
Right.
So I mean, it makes sense, and just trying to create not only the all ages shows, but also the comfort for these types of shows being attended, really, and supported and on our end made secure, type.
Yeah, well, having again the multi-generation, because I know my friends have kids now, and they may only be 13, 14, but they're being influenced. And now is the time to, like, well, if you're going to be influenced by music and try to find a culture that vibes with you, well, check out the punk scene and see if skating and punk rock and art and those kind of things that go along with it make sense to you, and get given that exposure. Because it's hard to bring in a 14-year-old to a 21 and over bar, especially at 11 o'clock at night or something. It's just not conducive. So now with that split generation kind of thing, where us guys prefer to get bed by 10, we have responsibilities, but we also have the kid that we want to kind of help, kind of influence and show them what we grew up with. Like, hey, I saw these guys when I was your age, but how do you do that when when every venue's a bar,
right.
and 21 and over,
right? And I know I keep bringing up Rubik's, but they have a good opportunity to support it in that way. I'd like to see and help them, create that type of atmosphere a little more. Social media and stuff. I don't mean to call you guys out, but there's there's some stuff that could be repositioned to, because I mean they have games there. I mean it's more of a fun place than it is a venue. But as we grow, again, it starts with creating the culture. Yeah, the culture starts with fun shows like this. Yep.
And then that just breeds more and more momentum, and then before you know it, you're doing multi-day fests, and who knows what could come out of it.
Well, and you're right, because these types of things in bigger cities aren't really. We're not having this footloose conversation of what's acceptable in a small community.
That's funny.
Yeah. And a lot of that is driven through art districts and art communities, and we all think back to where a lot of this started in the New York and stuff, and the late 70s and over in England, and these things were born out of art communities, and if we can see that kind of cultivated over in the arts district, I think that's responsible, but also I think that's valuable to Melbourne.
Well, 100%, because you got to be well-rounded. Art can't just be two-dimensional. It's got to be three-dimensional. It's got to be some audible. It's got to be taste. It's it's got to encompass everything that's art, right?
Right.
So, and I think EGAD has that opportunity.
Yep. We got Derek's over there right now finishing up his art installment. The Dreamland sponsor of the.
This is the last weekend, I believe. For that.
Yeah, they're doing a fashion show over there.
Nice.
I like how he finishes up with a fashion show.
Sure, I mean putt and fashion.
Putt and
The newest styles for the fairway.
Yep. If you haven't stopped by Dreamland, though, it's an art installment, but it's a mini golf situation. Go check it out. He's also got his art camp this summer for kids. And speaking of connecting that for the next generation, it's a pretty cool thing that they're doing over there to also build up the education side of the arts district. I know the new director, Kathy of EGAD over there, wants to reinvent the education center.
That'd be wise.
Yeah. Now, I mean, you guys are EGAD staples. I mean, how do you see something like this or other events changing the scope or maintaining the scope of what EGAD is?
Kind of back to what you're saying about bringing out certain vendors that are local artists in their own right, whether they're taxidermists or painters or what have you. They get exposed to a totally different crowd because of festivals like this.
Right.
And they're all in our backyards, which is great. Brevard County really does. I mean, Melbourne produces a lot of amazing artists, skateboarders, all around artists that don't get exposure unless they go to big cities.
Right.
So I think for us, it's important, and we probably touched on this before, that we keep it here. And I always would get the question, like, when I first opened, like, why don't you open this in Miami or LA or Orlando? I'm like, well, if everybody that's trying to do something cool and positive leaves town, then who's going to do it,
Right.
And so I think being a staple in EGAD, we've been there for almost 7 years now, and Rob and them have been there almost 5. Like, they encompass. Yeah, they have a bar and a barbershop, but you walk in and you feel at home, and it feels artsy, and it's punk rock, and it really
where everybody knows your name.
It's like Cheers,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think anytime we have events, whether it's a punk rock fest or, unfortunately, last weekend there was a festival that was supposed to happen, but
it got rained out.
Yeah, it got rained out. It brings people down there, and those people may not come to O'Galley and even understand that we're in an up-and-coming arts district.
Right.
Or, like, even though I've been in business 12 years and been in O'Galley 7, every single day I got people coming in. I didn't realize you were here.
Yeah.
And I'm on the corner. Like, I don't know how you miss it.
Yeah.
Right.
But
I'm sure you've driven by this a thousand times.
But it's those events that get them to stop
and
get them to walk around and support the local businesses. So it's important that people come out and support these things, for sure.
Right. And and that always brings me back to the idea of responsibility, like being able to do these things.
Yeah.
And if we do them correctly, and they're always that fun family situation, then we get to cultivate our culture.
Well, it's like before we opened the skate shop, that was our venue.
Yeah.
And we had all ages shows, and it was fantastic. And we had, AF there, and we had G Love play there. We had a lot of really good shows in that small space. And
we didn't make much money, but it was still
it was for the community.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Slackers was my favorite night.
Epic.
That was my favorite.
Yeah. So we've been doing it for a while. It's just now finally, getting the recognition because of these bigger events and the city allowing it to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. A lot of different types of artists. You brought up taxidermy. Heather was out there with Sleeping Sirens, another sponsor. If you got a free umbrella, it probably says Sleeping Sirens on it. You can thank Heather Clark. Yeah, no, it was great, genius. Yeah. But that was. And you're right. It's there's two sides to this coin, and but you guys are there every day, so you have to have your say.
For sure.
And. So excellent. Now with traditionals, you are the punk rock bar, and a lot of people like what you're, the vision that you have created in there. I know I see always a lot of different pictures. I've taken a ton of pictures in there just because it looks cool. Well, one of our bands from Punk in the Park, Porch, Coffin, actually did some live recording in there for a video, and we're going to pull them up here for their song Broken Lazy.
Well, what up, Joey?
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys crushed it, man. They were so good.
Easy and broke.
Nice.
It looks way bigger than this. That looks way bigger than that. And it actually looks like whatever shot in the video.
Oh, yeah.
And you come up to it.
Oh, right.
Look at how small it is.
Oh, no.
But I can't find my key. What's the motivation? I'm just so sick of. I'm just so sick of.
Doesn't sound live, man. It's a good mix.
Do our best to flow. Wanna keep tossing. I'll get that years ago. To me, now they will say. I'm just lazy and always broke. No direction, there's nowhere to go. Blame us now for the sun is broke. You know the contribution. Try it again. But it always repeats. It's a habit I can't. I'm just so sick of food. I'm just so sick. Picking me up. I'm just lazy and always broke. No direction, there's nowhere to go. Blame us now before the sun explodes. You know the contribution. I'm just lazy and always broke. No direction, there's nowhere to go. Blame us now before the sun explodes. You know. Just lazy and always broke. No direction, there's nowhere to go. Blame us now before the sun explodes. You know the contributions. All just lazy and always broke. No direction, there's nowhere to go. Blame us now before the sun explodes. You know. I just wanna get away.
All right, Porch
Nice.
Coffin.
Zoom to black.
Yeah,
Wasn't good.
Yeah, that was one take.
yeah,
That was a one take kind of video. I liked it a lot.
yeah.
The
and-
bar looks so good.
Yeah, you
That's
can
what I
see
was saying. It
traditional.
looks so much bigger.
But how did
Well,
how did
you know
all
how
those
small
people
it
sitting
is.
at the bar just not bang ahead like one
Thinking
time?
the same thing.
They're there for filler. It's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
All right, whatever we do, don't
Yeah.
respond to the music.
Yeah.
You know, even
Yeah.
if it's like, oh, I
I
love that.
seen Colleen regulating back there.
Now you guys, there's a pretty big event at Traditionals on Friday. Tone Egan is
Yes.
a local musician. He's been around for a really long time, been in a bunch of bands. He's moving to Cali. So a lot of his musician friends are kind of throwing a bit of a party at Traditionals on Friday. And I know my drummer Nick is going to play some songs.
There's about nine people, and unfortunately I don't have all the names right now. Ryan Blount's playing.
Yeah.
Um,
Damien Sumi.
Yes. I didn't bring the info with me, but it should be pretty cool.
That's gonna
Tony's
be a
moving
great
out of
night.
town, and should be really good.
So come give Tony a high five and a hug. Take care of Colleen while you're at the bar. And this Friday night should be a lot of fun. Anything else going on this weekend in EGAD?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's a nice little quiet weekend down
Yeah.
there.
Nice little
I guess.
quiet weekend.
You know, bring the whole family out for
Yeah.
a little shopping and ice cream,
There
and
you
maybe
go.
a beer. You know,
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
this
nice.
weekend? Is this weekend the 24th
uh,
or 25th? Isn't that Intra's Bacon Beer Bash?
That is Saturday.
Saturday.
actually.
Oh.
Correct.
Saturday.
There are 5 new bacon beers over there, actually.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Stop into Intracoastal Saturday for the Bacon Beer Bash. There'll be some music. Against the Grain, another sponsor, just had their 20-year anniversary there. I know they still have some beers there available and made specifically for them, but they have their bacon beers this Saturday. And
didn't they do an ice cream at the creamery with one of their bacon beers? Didn't you have
Yes,
that?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
I haven't
Yeah.
tried it, but
I'm going today.
Yep.
I got to try that.
yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
So Traditionals Friday night, Intracoastal during the Saturday day, and then the rest of EGAD, Pineapples, Island Root Cava, The Cottage. hit them up.
Standard Collective.
Always Standard
said that?
Collective.
Yes.
Yeah. Always Standard Collective.
Because you gotta look good while you're in EGAD.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come shop, get an outfit, drink a beer, get some ice cream, have a beer.
Mm-hmm.
I really love this Apavi thing that you're wearing.
My
Tony.
knockoff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
100%. So good.
He's doing a kickflip.
Right?
You guys have any parting words?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
I just want to say I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for this whole event we had. Without you guys, it would not have been possible. So thank each and every one of you guys. All the vendors, all the volunteers, the skaters, just everybody who was involved and everybody who came from all over Florida, man, which was, there's people from as far as Jacksonville to Miami that all came out together.
Right.
And just thank everybody. It was just it was a great event. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve, too, for all your hard work.
And
I'm sure.
yes, of course.
People
Thank you.
saying that, but you
Yes.
you and Rob, I mean, pulled it off this time in a big way, and it's I know there's a lot of behind the scenes crap that you got to deal with.
Yeah,
You did a
did a lot
fantastic
of
job.
behind the scenes. I mean, all the artwork and everything. We wouldn't,
Yeah,
It was a good
impossible
team.
with any of
It was a
those
good
things.
team. And speaking
all
of those
worked.
volunteers, I almost forgot our beer tent was almost ran by the Carabella Spa. All those people came out, and so
Yeah.
if you need to treat yourself, hit them up. But yeah, it's a good team. I can't wait for next year and see where this can grow.
Any forecasts for next year? Anybody?
I'm already working on it.
yeah?
I have a few things already going on.
Maybe a second stage or a second ramp, or who knows? We'll see.
We'll see. I'm always a fan of duplicating the experiment before
Yes,
you know.
exactly.
Yeah, but maybe the ramp will be a little bigger.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
It was just so crowded. Everybody's snaking everybody. It's like
Yeah.
but maybe like just a spine ramp or maybe
Right.
extension or something.
a little
Just,
street course or something.
Yeah.
We
Right.
definitely
That'd be
do
fun.
have some good ones coming up for next year.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
and then give a shout out to the food trucks, because we hardly even mentioned that.
yeah, actually, Rollin' Smoke ran out of food.
Nice.
They were super stoked.
sure.
Pucker Up Lemonade, Chef Mo with Taste Buds, and then Moo's Ice Cream and Hot Dogs. All did very well. Appreciate y'all coming out. And you vendors and food trucks and volunteers. We meant to announce it during the Punk in the Park, but our Space Coast Music Festival is going to be November 5th. We will be activating the links on our website, spacecoastrocks.com, very soon for all y'all.
You got early bird ticket sales happening.
That's another free event. You know?
It's a free event.
Yeah.
Man. Just
Yeah.
giving it away.
Well,
I love it.
It's community based.
That's
Yeah,
right.
come out and if you want to be a sponsor and help be a part of that, community situation, and we'll have those links. We'll have some different levels for what you're looking for. If you want to volunteer, we'll have our volunteer link. If you are a part of a business or a corporate entity that needs some volunteer hours for your HR, we can help with that. If you're a kid that needs some Bright Future hours, we can help you with that. It's a great way to do some community service and at a rad event and get some hours for it. If you maybe got in a little trouble and need some hours, maybe we can help you with that too. Depends on what you did.
Yeah. Well, it definitely beats cleaning beaches and some other things. I mean,
Right.
if you want to clean a park, might as well clean a park with all your best friends hanging out with you.
Yeah.
You know?
And last year we had, like 85 bands on 6 stages at the music festival.
Right.
We had around 80 vendors with, I think, code set us we were around 6,000 people. So it's a giant event. It's a great way to, if you're a sponsor looking to get some notoriety, it's a pretty large event.
Yeah.
And again, it's a charity event. Harbor City Local is a 501c3 nonprofit. And the events that we do help with community and educational initiatives. If you check out our website or our socials, you can find a link to the music scholarship program that we have right now. If you have a kiddo or if you're hard up and cannot afford music lessons and you don't want to be locked out of that type of culture, we can help you get some lessons with Wickham Road Music, or if you have someone else in mind, we can talk about that, Groove Shack or something like that. If you need instruments to help accomplish that goal, we can help find them for you. We do have some in storage, to so that your kiddo can take lessons. We've talked with some other nonprofits about some communities that they don't even really think about these things because they just can't afford them. So spread the word. Will help you, learn an instrument. It doesn't matter if it's trumpet or electric guitar. We're interested in helping you out. Again, Harbor City Local. Hit up our socials. Our website, spacecoastrocks.com, is also our event website for the Space Coast Music Festival and Punk in the Park. And we're hoping to add some more events in this new year. So take a look at that. If you want to create an event and you're interested in a charity initiative or a community initiative, hit us up. We're always interested in making those partnerships. But yeah, for Rob, Tony, Steven with Harbor City Local, Jesse with Space Coast Podcast.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you.
You got it, guys.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time. We got Scatterbrains here with Skate and Destroy to bring us up.
Until next time.
Shred the pork, gnarly dudes. It's my body to abuse. Broken bones are dead. Bagger pulls, balls and bruise. It's a spark like the fuse of my hate to grab my skin. Time to obliterate. Skate and destroy. Skate and destroy. Skate and destroy. Skate and destroy. Concrete. I hold my shred stick beneath my feet. Adrenaline goes with the speed. There's no rush that can't compete. Get in the